Remember, Hurricane Andrew is one of the worst storms in Florida. Irma is more devastating on its current path. We are being very aggressive in our preparation for this storm, and every Floridian should take this seriously and be aggressive to protect their family.
Welcome back to Harbor. That was Governor Rick Scott of Florida invoking the lessons of Hurricane Andrew as Irma threatens Florida. The storm has already devastated smaller communities across the Caribbean. We know that. Snapping utility poles, submerging cars. We're looking at the damage now and wiping out 95% of some of the islands in its path. 95%. Now in this country, that same storm is about to bear down on the Florida coast with 7 million people sitting in harm's way. So how do officials in this country prepare and recover from a disaster of such a magnitude? For this, we're joined by Jeremy Konyndyk, former Director of Foreign Disaster at USAID, and Alice Hill, former Special Assistant to President Obama. Thank you both. So let me talk to you or ask you about what we're seeing in terms of the evidence so far of the power of this hurricane going from east to west across the Caribbean.
So in the areas it's made landfall, it has been an absolute buzzsaw. It has flattened several of the Leeward Islands in the Caribbean. It's been fortunate onward from there. It's missed Haiti, it's missed the Dominican Republic, and now it might shade the northern coast of Cuba before it goes on to Florida. Everywhere it's touched, it's been devastating. Tell
me about the island of Barbuda. I was not familiar with that, but now that island apparently is gone.
The reports are that up to 95% of the structures on that island are damaged or destroyed. People are evacuating now because it might be getting a second hit from Jose.
Alice, this situation, I don't know. I sometimes think these kind of situations tend to bend us towards nonpartisanship. Is there any different? I mean that, which I'm usually very political, but I get the feeling that the ability of our resources is pretty much a constant under whoever's running the country.
That's correct. And this, I do think, will inspire bipartisanship. It already has in terms of passing the aid bill. So it's a hopeful thing.
Well, what do we do? I know we can't prevent hurricanes, and we can't really tell people where to live. It's a free country, right? You can say all you want about the 9th Ward in New Orleans. There's a history there where people want to live and choose to, and it's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
and in Florida, it's right near sea level. But it's only 5 feet above sea level down in Miami, and it's always going to be pretty exposed to any surge.
The reality with disasters like this is you save the lives before the disaster with the policy, the building codes, the zoning codes, and then the early warning. And if you get some of those wrong, people will die, and there's not much you can do about it in the event.
Alice, where people get paid back or get angered at, or like Ray Nagin down in New Orleans, where he said, I'll get 90% of the people out. Well, that sounds okay as a percentage, but it's not like grading in school. And 90 isn't winning. 50,000 people were left behind. And I'm always struck by that picture of all those school buses, hundreds of school buses sitting down there in New Orleans, not even turned on, and then underwater because nobody moved.
The good news is that we learned a lot from Katrina. So we now have experienced managers running FEMA. We pre-positioned supplies. We have new rules that all medical facilities have to have emergency plans. So it's an iterative process. We're going to learn there were mistakes made here, no question, but we are far better off than we were during Katrina.
Well, Arthur Schlesinger said that politics is a learning profession, and I hope we learn it fast. Jeremy Konyndyk.